You're listening to Systemic Error Podcast. The failure was designed.
New video of ICE killing in Houston sparks outrage. People need to start getting charged, based on an article by Matthew Chapman. ICE, lies, and the permission to kill. The story ICE wants to sell. ICE says Lorenzo Salgado Araujo rammed their vehicle and tried to run down an agent. New footage makes that account look deeply unstable. The video reportedly shows no damage to the ICE vehicle they claimed was hit, and it appears ICE was the one moving into contact with Araujo's car. That matters because the state's first instinct was not restraint or review, it was self-exoneration. Who had the power? ICE had the guns, the authority, and the power to write the initial version of events. A 52-year-old Mexican national who had lived in Texas for 35 years with no criminal issues did not control the narrative after he was shot. The armed agency did. That is the central asymmetry here. One side gets to fire, then explain, then dare the public to disprove it. The other side is dead. The misdirection is the point. The official story tries to convert a shooting into a defensive necessity. That is a familiar maneuver. It shifts attention from the agent's decision to the victim's supposed conduct, as if the burden were on the dead man to prove he did not deserve execution. The new footage does not merely complicate ICE's account. It exposes how quickly federal force expects the benefit of the doubt, even when the physical evidence points the other way. That is not confusion. It is institutional self-protection. This is not an isolated error. The source points to earlier Minneapolis killings during protests against Trump's federal takeover of the city, where footage also contradicted ICE claims. That is the pattern. Violence first, justification second, and only then the possibility of evidence. When the same agency repeatedly benefits from a story that collapses under video, the problem is not a rogue officer or a bad press release. It is a culture in which lethal force is treated as administratively manageable afterward. ICE cannot be trusted with this power. The article's framing should not be softened into a debate about training or oversight. ICE is a coercive apparatus built to detain, intimidate, and kill with minimal accountability. When its officers can shoot a long-term resident and then lean on a story that footage undermines, the institution has already failed the basic standard for legitimacy. The answer is not a nicer public relations strategy or another internal review that buries the record. ICE should be abolished. The larger pattern. This story is about more than one man in Houston. It is about a government system that arms agents, lets them define the facts, and then expects everyone else to treat contradiction as an unfortunate complication. That is how impunity works. Not through grand speeches, but through routine lies backed by force. If the footage means anything, it means the public is once again being asked to accept that state violence is accidental unless proven otherwise. That presumption is rotten. The danger is not just that ICE shoots people. It is that the institution believes it can keep doing it and then narrate the dead into guilt. You've been listening to Systemic Error. Thanks to Raw Story for today's article, with the automated voice of Marcus. Thanks for listening.